Morning students. Today we are going to start our next topic, that is ammonia. You know that it is a hydride of group 15 element, right? It's a hydride of nitrogen. Ammonia, it is a very important compound. It is found in small quantity in air as well as in the soil by the decay of the nitrogenous organic matter, right? So ammonia, it is the hydride of nitrogen, right, found in small quantity in air and soil by the decay of nitrogenous organic matter, and that is student urea. So this is NH2 CONH2 students. So this is the urea, right? And if the decay of the urea takes place, right, and you know that the water is available, a moisture content is there, so it will undergo the decay or the reaction to first to form the ammonium carbonate, right, which further gives ammonia, right, and carbon dioxide. By the decay of the decomposition of ammonium carbonate, students, we will get ammonia plus carbon dioxide, right, along with water too, right. So here we have got two atoms of nitrogen here, so it's ammonia plus carbon dioxide, right. This is the ammonia gas which has been obtained. Along with this, students, we can this is the reaction which takes place in the surrounding or in the atmosphere. Now the lab preparation, right. So the ammonia can be easily prepared by treating the or by heating the ammonium compounds with strong alkali, right. So we have, but first is by heating ammonium compounds with strong alkali like NaOH or calcium hydroxide, right. So you can write down the reaction. You can have ammonium chloride, the ammonium compound, and when it has been treated with NaOH with heating, so it will form NaCl plus water plus NH3 gas, which will be liberated. Similarly, you can treat ammonium sulfate also with NaOH or calcium hydroxide. This is ammonium sulfate. When it is treated with calcium hydroxide, it is going to form calcium chloride. Sorry, it will form calcium sulfate plus it will form water plus NH3 will be formed. Right, students? Now, students, the second is by hydrolysis of magnesium nitride, that is Mg3N2, and if the hydrolysis takes place, it will form magnesium hydroxide plus NH3 gas liberated. Now, students, here the ammonia gas which has been formed, it contains little bit contains the moisture content, and to dry it out we are not going to use the sulfuric acid, concentrated sulfuric acid or phosphorus pentoxide, right? We are anhydrous calcium chloride. We are going to use here quicklime, that is calcium oxide, right? So the dehydrating agent used to dry NH3 is calcium oxide and not concentrated H2SO4 or P2O5 or anhydrous calcium chloride, because it can react with these compounds, right students? So these are the preparation of the ammonia gas, right? Now this is a lab preparation. Right now we will going to discuss the manufacture of ammonia, that is done in the large scale. Now students, we will discuss the manufacture of the ammonia. It is done through the Haber's process, right? So here I have drawn a flow chart, right, which is going to represent the manufacture of ammonia. So students, here we have got different compartment. First we will start from here, that is an inlet of the product reactant, which is nitrogen and hydrogen in the ratio 1:3, right? So N2 is to hydrogen gas which is being entered is 1:3 ratio, right? So here they will be entered into the compressor, right, where the pressure is going to be reduced, where the pressure will be applied, and it is 20 millipascal pressure or nearly 200 atm pressure is been applied here, right? This is the pressure which is will be applied here, right? And when the gases are being compressed here, then they will made to enter into the catalytic chamber. Student, this is the catalytic chamber, right students? Here we have got aluminum iron oxide along with potassium oxide or aluminum oxide, right? Here we will have promoters also, molybdenum will be also present here, right? Now here what happens, the nitrogen and hydrogen gas which is being entering here in the catalytic chamber now will undergo the reaction, right student, and will form ammonia, right? The ammonia gas which has been formed here will then get the exit along with the unreacted nitrogen and hydrogen. Nearly student 20% of ammonia is been nearly, okay, it is approximately or nearly 20% of ammonia is being formed here. Now after this mixture, right, is now will be made to pass into the compartment which is a receiver here, which contains the water, right, and this nitrogen hydrogen along with the ammonia through the, this is also called a condensing pipe, right? This is the condensing pipe. So ammonia is going to get dissolved in water and it will be in the form of ammonium hydroxide, and the nitrogen and hydrogen being insoluble in water, they will just escape. Nitrogen and hydrogen being insoluble in water, student, is going to escape out, right? And this is the pump here. Now through the pump they will be again circulated into the system, right? So this is the nitrogen and the hydrogen gas which will be circulated again through the pump into the catalytic chamber, right students? So in this process, right, the nitrogen hydrogen will be in the ratio 1:3, right, and the pressure which will be applied is 200 atmospheric pressure, right? And catalytic chamber, they will be heating also done here, and students, here the temperature which will be maintained will be 700 Kelvin temperature. Now students, if you see this reaction here, nitrogen hydrogen gives ammonia here, you can see that it is a reversible process, and the forward direction here it is exothermic reaction. Now from the Le-Chatelier principle, since it is a forward, because we need the forward direction where the product ammonia is being formed, so since the forward direction is exothermic reaction students, so from Le-Chatelier principle, from the Le-Chatelier's principle, right, to favor the product formation, to favor product formation. So student, that the product is ammonia, right? The first thing is that temperature should be low. You can see here's an exothermic reaction. So to favor the forward product formation, the temperature has to kept low. So low temperature which is maintained here is 700 Kelvin. And second is that the forward direction is there's a decrease in the volume of ammonia formed, right? So increase in pressure. There should be high pressure is going to favor, so that is nearly 200 atm pressure, or we can say 20 millipascal pressure. And third thing is the presence of the catalyst will favor the reaction. Presence of catalyst, so here we are using the iron oxide, or we can take potassium oxide or aluminum oxide along with the promoter, right, that is the molybdenum, right students. We are going to discuss the structure of ammonia molecule, right? So the structure of NH3, you know that NH3 undergoes the sp3, sorry, central nitrogen atom is sp3 hybridized, right? And there is a presence of one lone pair on nitrogen atom. So for expected shape from the sp3 hybridization, it should be tetrahedral, but due to presence of a lone pair, there will be the distortion and the shape will be pyramidal, right? So this is the nitrogen atom, this is hydrogen, this is another hydrogen atom, and this is a lone pair which will be present here, and nearly it's 107.8 degree the bond angle, whereas the bond angle, tetrahedral bond angle is 109 degree 28 minutes, but due to presence of a lone pair, there is the decrease in the bond angle, so it is 107.8 degree. And the bond length student, it is being 101.7 picometer. Right, so this is the bond length of the NH bond. The three NH bond all will be equivalent, and it will be 101.7 picometer. Right students, now we will discuss the physical property of ammonia. So student, first of all, it is lighter than air, right? Second, it is colorless, but it is not odorless. It has got ammoniacal smell. It is colorless and have ammoniacal smell. Student, the third is that it is soluble in water, and you know that this is because of formation of intermolecular hydrogen bond with water. And fourth is it has high melting point and boiling point, and this is again due to the strong association caused by intermolecular hydrogen bonding with itself, right? So it is with surrounding ammonia molecule. Surrounding NH3 molecules. Students, so this is the structure and the physical properties of ammonia. Now we will discuss the chemical properties. So first one is its basic nature. Now ammonia, when it is dissolved in water, student, it will just form ammonium hydroxide, right? So it is going to form ammonium hydroxide. So it is a base here, right? And second thing is that due to presence of a lone pair, it acts as a Lewis base, right? And donates its electron pair, that is a lone pair here, to Lewis base, sorry, to Lewis acid and form coordinate bond, right? So if BF3 boron trifluoride reacts with ammonia, a coordinate bond is formed, right, where we can show it in this way, that nitrogen is giving the electron pair of it, lone pair of it, to the boron trifluoride, which is electron deficient species, right students? So this is there. So one thing is there, you will balance the reaction also. So in the above reaction, where is NH3 plus H2O gives ammonium hydroxide, students. So here when you are balancing, right, so if I put in this way here, so it is 2 NH3, right, and oxygen is 2 here. So if I get it, uh, okay, like this is there. So you can see here that oxygen 1, hydrogen, it is getting, student, how much? 4 plus 1, 5. So it is already balanced, right? So otherwise in the organic reaction, so in these in organic reactions, you will just balance the reactions too. Now students, the liquid ammonia, that is ammonia, it will show its basic nature. It will react with the salt, right, AgCl, to form a complex AgNH3 whole twice Cl plus 2H2O, right students? So here it is forming a complex compound, and hence acting as a ligand here, and through the coordinate bond it is linking to the metal ion, right? The complex which is formed here, it is colorless, and I hope so you can easily just you can try to name this also, right? This is a IPC name you have to write of this coordination compound. Similarly, the next is copper sulfate and ammonium hydroxide. It is going to form CuNH3 whole 4. Outside the bracket, sulfate is there. So this is blue in color. Right. Now, what is the significance of this reaction? That this reaction can be used for the detection of the metal ion. Right. So, detection of metal ions like Ag plus is there, Cu2 plus, and many other that are complex compound which they are going to form, which color complexes will be formed. We can differentiate them or distinguish them. The next chemical property is the reaction with halogens. So ammonia reacts with chlorine, right? If ammonia is present in excess, it will form ammonium chloride, student. It is going to form ammonium chloride. But if, student, chlorine will be in excess, student, at that time we are going to get nitrogen and HCl will be formed here, right? So this is there. So right? So when the nitrogen will be in ammonia will be in excess, we will get ammonium chloride, and when students the chlorine will be in excess, we will get nitrogen and HCl which will be formed. So here students, one thing is there, it is going to form nitrogen trichloride and HCl. This is nitrogen trichloride which will be formed, right? So accordingly, it is going to be here. So here we have got 6, and this is hydrogen. This is here total 6 HCl. So we will put here 6. So overall students, we are getting here 6 to 12, right? This is that is formed. Similarly, bromine is also going to react. Similarly, bromine also reacts. But when we talk about the iodine, students, right? That time we are not going to write the reaction in the same way. This reaction, uh, the product which is formed here when NH3 is going to react with I2, right? It is a compound, or we can say a complex which is formed, which is brown in color. It is nitrogen triiodide ammoniate. Nitrogen triiodide ammoniate, which is a brown complex which has been formed. Student, when this complex is been rubbed, large amount of heat is being produced, right? And it is a highly exothermic reaction. Now the next reaction is the oxidizing nature. We can say that the ammonia will undergo the oxidation. So here it is the oxidation of ammonia which will take place. So it is copper oxide plus NH3. So if this reaction takes place, CuO plus NH3, this reaction is used for the preparation of the nitrogen gas. Now students, the oxidation of ammonia, the copper oxide plus ammonia gas, right? When they undergo the oxidation, the nitrogen gas will be formed. Right students, in the same way, calcium oxychloride bleaching powder with ammonia here undergoes the oxidation. It gives calcium oxide chloride plus water plus nitrogen gas which will be liberated. Similarly students, ammonia when it is mixed with oxygen, right, and the temperature is nearly 1075 Kelvin, so you can see it's very high temperature, the nitric oxide and water is being formed. Now the nitric oxide, this is the, we can say, one of the reactant, or the reactant formed during the Ostwald process, right? A product formed during the Ostwald process usually used for the manufacture of the nitric acid. So nitric oxide that is required during the Ostwald process for the manufacture of nitric acid. Right, so here I have added one step here, that this complex, that is a nitrogen triiodide ammoniate, this brown complex, when it is rubbed with the any surface, right, a large amount of heat will be liberated, exothermic reaction, and liberating product formed will be nitrogen, iodine and ammonium iodide. This is going to be formed. Right students? So these are the reactions, oxidation reaction. Similarly, ammonia undergoes combustion, but it neither combustible nor it is a supporter of combustion, but it burns in the presence of oxygen to form nitrogen and water. So next is, it is neither combustible, it is not going to combustible by itself, nor it support supporter of combustion. right? So it only in presence of oxygen, when oxygen will be mixed with it, and it will be heated, so it will form nitrogen and water that will be formed, students. So along with these, students, we have the precipitation reactions of the ammonia with the heavy metals. For example, precipitation reaction. Let the heavy metal be FeCl3, but it will not be directly ammonia, but it is liquid ammonia, that is NH4OH. Right, students? So here the product which are going to be formed is ferric hydroxide FeOH whole thrice plus NH4Cl, which will be formed, students. So it is a precipitation reaction where we are going to get the brown purity of ferric hydroxide. This is the brown purity. Right? In the same way, we can have the precipitation reaction with the aluminium salt also, AlCl3. So it will form the aluminium hydroxide, which is a gelatinous white PPT, student. So that is a gelatinous white PPT which is will be formed. Right, students? So similarly, chromium chloride, when it will react with the liquid ammonia, it will form the green PPT of chromium hydroxide. Now, students, we have to go through it, right? And you will just point out the uses of ammonia, that ammonia, where it is being used. The most important, one of the important use is the manufacture. So far as manufacture or preparation is concerned, it is used in the preparation of nitrogen. It can be used in the manufacture of nitric acid, right, for the as a Ostwald process, right. It is used as a nitrogenous substance, so it is can be used for preparation of the nitrogenous compounds also, right.